Have you ever drawn something like this?
Oh! Oh! Oh!
You know you wanted to draw just a person, but when you started putting the lines on paper, it didn't quite work out. Weird crooked body, not exactly right nose. If you have, this video is for you. Let's talk about the importance of shapes in drawing. Hello, my name is Patrick, and I am an artist, and I'm so glad you're here. If you are having trouble getting pictures to turn out the way that you hoped, if your drawings aren't quite coming together, shapes might be at the center of your problem. Let me show you what I mean. Here I am just trying to outline this wonderful shape of a dog, right? So I start to put in all the pieces I think he needs. There's the nose, here's some paws, and we just start getting some body shape, maybe a leg in here. You know, we loosely have a dog. Probably has a tail of some kind. Something like that. Now, when I look at that, the lines don't feel all that great. They're not very strong. The shapes don't really come together in the way that I like. And though I might be able to see a dog, there's something I can do to make it slightly better. The technical term is construction. This idea for like pre-drawing a picture before you draw it. But I always found that it was difficult to sort of figure out what that was as a new artist. I couldn't just construct it because I didn't understand how do I construct a thing versus draw a thing. And the key, I think, is ultimately shapes. If you can get the language of your shapes right and they communicate what you're trying to draw, then you've constructed a thing that you can build on top of to make it work. Let me show you what I mean. So let's try this dog again, but instead of drawing a dog, let's draw the shapes that happen on a dog. We're gonna use a pencil here to start. So let's draw the shapes. So we're gonna start with the shoulders. So a dog has sort of upper shoulders, something like that. And then they've got like a lower body if they're sitting, and that's going to be sort of flattened on the bottom. And then we're going to want to have sort of tubes here for their arms and their paw. Maybe their other arm is back here. Their other paw is here. And then we want to connect these shapes to make sort of a body shape. So we're just going to like use those to help us create our initial shape. Kind of like that. But then, of course, on top of that, we're going to need like a leg body. So we're going to take this sort of upper shape here and call it part of the leg, and then sort of stick out another shape here. Lastly, of course, we're going to need a head, and we're going to need sort of the box at the front of the mouth. Now, when we look at these two versions of a dog, you can really see that this dog on the right, even though it's not a fantastic drawing, it's in no way complete. It doesn't even have a tail now that I look at it. It conveys a dog much more specifically than the one on the left. And now if I was to go back and try to add lines to it, I could easily do that just by using my example here. Just by following my shapes, I was able to create line art that was much more communicative, much more clear, and that simple. How do you develop this skill, right? So drawing in shapes is one thing, but how do you actually know how to do that? Well, you need to learn to see in shapes. You need to learn to see in shapes. This kind of eye takes time to develop, but you can develop it. Even where you are right now, look around and find an object. I've got my drink I'm drinking here, a lovely can. What kind of shapes make up this? It's very simple. It might be a circle on the top and, you know, sort of tube in between. What kind of shapes make up this little bottle of glue I have on my desk? What kind of shapes make up this bottle? You're thinking to yourself, those are just bottles. They're all just different bottles. But you know what? If you work on figuring out the shapes that make one look the way it looks versus the other one, you'll begin to see the world in shapes. And if you're really brave, you can actually go get some paper or your digital, whatever you use to draw, and give it a try. Look at the thing you're looking at, see if you can get the shapes down on paper, and see what will come of it. Oh, here's a great way to practice. So start with an image. Once you have that image, print it or add it to your device. Use a pencil to trace the shapes over the object. Once you've done this, use that reference to then construct the shapes of the object separate from the image. And finally, again, if you're really brave, put both your versions aside and try to do it from your brain. I believe you can do it. It won't be perfect, but that's what practice is about. It's about progress and it's not about perfection. So just enjoy what you're doing, have fun, and if you want to see more of these, stick around. Hey, if you want to explore more art, learn together and share your work, you can do that on the Discord. Lots of nice people there. The link is down below. Thanks for watching and stick around for more like this and the other things we put here. Till next time, keep being awesome.